Well, good morning and welcome back to the herd, episode 12. And it is raining again here. It's on May 2nd. If you guys didn't watch the last episode, we got some soybeans done, planted. It rained. We figured out that apparently we must have some sort of row crop something going on. I still haven't even had time as of this recording to even dig deeper into this. But I'm thinking when I looked at the weather, it looked like it was supposed to kind of stop raining maybe sometime around 8:30, 9 o'clock. But as we all know, the animals on the farm need our help. I think the cows are fine. We need to go check them anyways. But the pigs, I do believe we need to get them some TMR. We need to feed them. Let's head on over this direction and take a look. And we'll take a look inside the pens over here. But I'm pretty sure they need food. They need food pretty bad. We need to get some rolling done today as well. We need to get that field that we planted that we were going to roll, but then it kind of rained out and we got late planting and all that kind of stuff, and this stuff grew. Yeah, it was kind of a little crazy of a episode, but it does look like the animals here, the cows, we do have 22,000 liters. We got plenty of straw and the manure is looking good, so they're content for right now. The ones I need to worry about are the pigs. So let's go take a look what they have here. Let's take a look and see what they have in their feed troughs, which this one says they only got about 600 liters of food. They're making some slurry, which is good. Over to this one, I believe this was the lower one, 222 liters of TMR in that. So did we have some more pigs overnight? I wonder if we didn't have more pigs overnight. Kind of looks like it. There's a lot more pigs in here than yesterday. Well, that's probably why they're eating so much. Let's see what they have. Looks like we have about... What does this have? Oh, we got about 1,100 liters of total mixed rations. Oh, we need to get this thing back to the farm, or back up to the shed. So let's get this fired up, and we need to drop off that Pro Box up by the planter. We also need to return the planter, and we also need to return the roller. So I'm hoping that the rain kind of slows down here and the field doesn't stay too muddy for too long, because I would like to try to get that rolled. Also, we need to prep the cutter, the hay bind. Goodness, words were tough there. Hay bind for cutting some alfalfa. So we need to get that looked over, because hopefully next month we can get our first. Oops, just ran over our tote. But hopefully next month we can get, in April, we can get our alfalfa cut and get our first cutting of alfalfa. And we need to, I think what we're going to do, because of the size of our TMR mixers for the cows, it holds about a 6,000 liter bale, which is going to be perfect, because I think it fills about half of that up. So I think we're going to start making about 6,000 liter bales, just because of the way the TMR mixer works. And then we have some really ginormous bales, like the 8,000 liter bales. I think they're in there, I believe. We'll take a look, but I think I want to sell them because they're going to be kind of obsolete at this point in time. All right, let's get... we got to get this weight off of here. We need to go back and drop it over this way. I suppose I could have gone that way, that direction, but I kind of have everything set up to go in from this end of the pig barn. Let's get this. We could probably shut the truck off. That doesn't need to be running. We're wasting fuel. All right, that's unhooked. And we probably also need to move the truck, because we're going to have to be coming this direction anyways to get some of that or the mineral feed that's sitting over here. Let's just park this over on this side. It's just kind of a nice little light rain. It's good for the crops, but I hope it doesn't make the field too terribly muddy. But that roller doesn't want to go through it. We left the lids open on that, it looks like, so the material is going to get a little wet. All right, let's go in some first-person view here. Let's take a look. All right, first-person view. I just can't handle the first-person view. All right, let's get this over here. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we be, and let's start unloading. There we go. Now hopefully this should, I don't know, this might fill this one up, but we're definitely going to have to fill this other one up. But these two little smaller bins that are right in front of me here, I have stuck some soybeans and some dry corn in them. So, and you do have to use this mixer if anybody's trying to do that in their series or if they're playing this. I haven't found an easy way to get it without, you know, putting up an auger. So this, I just fill it with soybeans and then go fill the bin and then go pick up corn and do the same thing. But it's, you can manage your ability to fill this, make this TMR a lot easier. So I'll show you here when this is done. All right, so that is done. Now we need to go grab ourselves soybeans and corn. And the trick to this one is to fill these to about 45% full, both with soybeans and corn. And then that way you still have that 10% that is there for your mineral feed. So watch the percentage gauge in bottom right. Once that hits about 45%, so 44, which would be fine there. Make sure we don't hit that with the forks. There we be. Might have to pull forward just a bit more, and let's put the soybeans in this one. Again, you want to bring this up to about 45%, so you're going to be about 90%. About right there, that's dang near perfect. And then our mineral feed is off around over here, so this is going to give, so right now as you guys see, it's only forage. So this will give you the total mixed rations that you need for the pigs. This should kind of auto open up. Yep, it just kind of did that there. And then all you got to do is just fill this up, and I'll open up my F1 window so you guys can see in the bottom left, or kind of the middle left there. So let's open that up, and it should bring enough mineral feed in there, and it should create total mixed rations. So we are at 100% full. And now it is mixing, so now we have total mixed rations in here for the pigs. Now this is map specific too, so it doesn't work on any other map with the pigs accepting the TMR. And we can get that not opened up, but augered out basically. We'll get this one, then we'll swing around. That's gonna be much, much better. All right, I'm gonna close this F1 window, but that's how you guys make the total mixed ration the simple way. Get that topped off, and those pigs should be happy as all get out. And this will give them 100% effectiveness or efficiency. So as we're looking here, it is getting about full. Shut that lid. That is so nice. I love this map so much. All right, let's get this spun around, and we'll go fill that last hopper up, or the last feed bin off. And it has stopped raining out, so that's good. So now hopefully we can go grab our roller. We have to unhook the planter, and we should be able to roll this little bean section that's out here. Let's hop out and get this closed up. We are eventually going to need some sort of slurry. I know they're not producing a whole lot here, but we are going to need some slurry spreader, and we're going to need a manure spreader. It's over here in the cow pen. All right, let's put that weight on the back, because I do believe we are done with anything with that trailer for right now. So let's get this thing parked out here. We'll hop into the truck. This we can just leave parked inside. There we be. Does look like probably next time that we use this, I might have to go buy some more mineral feed. Okay, down to the 8410, and we'll get that fired up, let that warm up. We did purchase, no, we didn't purchase, we've been leasing this roller just because we only got $6,400 in our account. And I'm hoping here comes July, we'll sell off quite a bit of the beans that we still have left in the storage bin. But we did lease this land roller right there to at least get a better efficiency, or a better yield through our beans. So that hopefully will help in the future, and eventually we can maybe try to purchase some more land. I would kind of want to purchase some more land at some point. We do have a mod, the financial mod. I can show you here in a second when we're done cleaning this off, but let's get this thing cleaned off, because this has to go back to the dealership today. And along with the roller, I would like to get that back today, so it shouldn't take us too long to get that field rolled and everything returned. And then we're kind of all squared up. Then I got to figure out what we're going to need for like herbicide and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna have to get the sprayer going. We're gonna have to get the hay bind going so we get that all rock and roll and ready to go. Now let's get this fired up, and we need to unload the beans. Get that unloaded, and I can't quite figure out how to unload the fertilizer out of this planter. So I might have to throw it in Giant's editor and see if I can get something to be able to remove the fertilizer out of here, because I just can't do it. It's not to let me do it. All right, so let's get that unhooked, and let's go grab the roller. This roller, I can't remember how wide this roller is, but it shouldn't take us too terribly long to get this field rolled. There we be, and away we go to the field. So let's get this unfolded. Get through these little bins here. The other thing I need to do, we should have done that too. We should have completely filled up the little bins here. I was drawing a little blank there, but we should have filled up these little bins here before we mixed everything with TMR. That way we had everything full, but apparently I forgot to do that. So let's set up our steering assistant, and we're going to go for 90 is what we're going at. Right there. Lock onto our GPS here. There we go. We could have scooted over just a tad, but it'll be all right. Well, I think we will kind of leave that little section right over there. I don't know. Kind of want this to be somewhat realistic. So I don't know. Would you guys, if you ever, we don't use rollers where we're at, kind of hilly, but would you guys go in and roll that? I mean, probably not. Like, I would consider that like a replant. Like, just, I'm picturing it being a drowned out, right? So you're going to go in there and replant everything. Let's see if we can make a little loop-de-loop here. Take a little of this grass. Hopefully we don't hit the fence. We'll head back up this direction. I don't know if there's any big need to try to do the end rows at this point in time, but this should give us a better efficiency yield bonus for the crop, at least in this particular area. Soybeans do go for quite a bit, so kind of wish I was able to roll everything that we had, but unfortunately we just lost track of time a little bit, and the weather and the rain, all that kind of stuff, kind of hindered us from doing any of that. So let's get this field rolled, and we'll catch you back here in a second. Well, there we go. We got the field rolled. We are getting these little end rows here. We did get the other side, obviously, as you guys did see that part, but we're heading back up towards the farm. There's we need to get this thing washed off. We need to get the both of this, the roller and the planter, back to the dealership today. And then we need to pull up this hay bine and get that thing kind of looked over, so that way we are ready to rock and roll for April, for the next month, so we can start cutting some of that alfalfa. Also need to get the baler out and kind of go over some of that stuff. But yeah, springtime is here. We are going to be busy. We also need to run to the store and probably grab some herbicide to be able to spray these fields when the time comes. Let's go pull this over there by the wash, and let's get this cleaned up, and then we'll drive this back into town, or back to the dealership, and get this returned, and then we'll have to come back and grab the planter and get that returned as well. Kind of some piddly stuff around here on the farm during the springtime, but boy, this place is starting to look like something, I guess, right now. We need to get that other seed out of here, loaded back into that refillable tote. So we could have probably stole... Ooh, we might need to go steal. Let's go steal the 1486 over this direction. Let's sneak through the garbage. Hopefully someday we can get this all cleaned up. Get ourselves a little better spot to be able to store some things. Okay, I don't think we need the pallet. Yeah, we do need the pallet forks, because we got to move. We're going to have to move the IBC totes. We'll get the totes set up on the trailer. I think I still have one that's kind of not parked, but just down in the way a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, we do, over here by this tote. Got the big bulk pro box. Which one did... Oh, I dropped the back. I didn't want to drop the back. I want to drop the front, because then we can hook up to this. Well, that hooks up to there, and then we should be able to refill the tote here. Open that up, hit R, and then that tote should be gone. Okay. We should be done with that. Where do we want to put that? Let's put it in the shed back here, into this dry storage shed. Cold storage. They're both cold storage, but We don't really have a whole lot in this shed right now, so let's get the doors opened up. We got the chopper in here. That's about all we got in here. Let's go throw this inside. Something like that. I can't wait to get ourselves a little skid loader. That's going to come in handy, I think, a little bit. Alright, we're done with that. We'll need the forks again, and then we're going to need to move... Can I move this thing with the weight on the back? I just want to move this out of the way. Oh, I can. Whoa! That's not what I was hoping for. Well, we made it work. We'll just get this. Didn't really want to hook up like that, but we got it to work, so no big deal. Alright. Good. Thank God this is a game, alright? Alright, forks on. We better zoom in here a little bit. Maybe we can get ourselves... Grass is getting tall. I can't see. There we go. I can't really... Let's just leave this here for right now. We'll leave it right on the forks. We'll have to pull that up around so that way we can get that loaded on. Well, let's get this thing all spick and span, get this washed off. We are done with the roller for right now because obviously we're leasing it and we have nothing else to roll. So this is going to go back to the dealership. We did lease it like beginning of May because we thought we were going to get to that point of being able to roll everything, but then weather happened. Okay, that thing is ready to go to the dealership, so let's take that into the dealership, and then we'll come back, grab the planter, and we will bring that back. So as we're kind of driving, I wouldn't mind maybe possibly at some point purchasing this field to my right over here and turning that into another alfalfa field. Then we could possibly take that big field that's back behind the bins, and we could reutilize that for potentially some regular row crops, some corn, some soybeans, stuff like that. Maybe in the next season or two, kind of do a little crop rotation. This is also another good field that I wouldn't mind purchasing as well, and maybe putting that, and then we would have plenty enough alfalfa between that field and that other one we want to purchase, and then we can rotate some of that other, some of the other crops as well. So let's get this to the dealership, and we'll meet you back at the farm when both pieces of equipment are returned. Well, it's sad to see this Kinsey go, but I think I got some better plans for next spring planting season. Something that's going to be a little bit more efficient, let's put it that way, in terms of when we get to harvest time. So I don't think this 12 row, since we got an 8 row corn head, I'm thinking that we might go with the 16 row planter. But we'll have to wait till spring. Hopefully we get enough money and maybe we can just even purchase it. But let's return this thing and get that off of our docket. There we be. All right, well, let's head back towards the farm, and we need to start pulling out the hay equipment stuff and getting that stuff all ready to rock and roll, because before you know it, we are going to be baling some alfalfa. So as I was driving back, I was thinking that we do have some stuff that we have to put away, but we still need to get all this hay equipment pulled out. We got the baler in there. What else do we have? We got the hay bind back here, so we can get that pulled out. We'll get that stuff checked out. There's plenty of time in the day to kind of get the stuff put away that I want to get put away. So we're going to pull this out. We might use the 1486 possibly to pull this hay bind. We'll have to see. I can't remember if that had enough power to do that. I'm pretty sure we washed this thing before we put it away. Why wouldn't we wash it? That's the better question. All right, let's make sure that everything works. Get that turned on. Everything seems to be spinning. Let's hop out, make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to. Looks like we'll have to grab the grease gun and grease some of these bearings. Everything's looking good back up around the front there. So let's fire this thing back down, and we will check to see how the swivel works. That seems to be working. So what that's going to do is it's going to swing it out just like that. And when you go the other direction, why is it not going the other direction? All right, well, anyways, we're going to have to figure that out. So once we kind of get going, let's shut this thing off because we don't need it running anymore. But it does look like it raises and lowers like it's supposed to. Okay. Well, let's get this thing out of the way. Let's get this pulled. Let's see if I can get this thing to maneuver. Oh, there we go. That's how we did it. Wrong. It's up and down on my joystick. Got it. There we go. All right, well, we figured it out. That's what happens, though. How many of you in real life will get in something, just like specifically, I'm talking like even a combine, things like that you're in for like many, many hours in the fall, but then you're not in it for dang near a whole year, and then you get back in the thing, and then you're like, how do I run this thing again? That's exactly what just happened there. Exactly what happened. Okay, let's get this thing parked. Yeah, we can get this thing parked away in here because I think we're kind of done with it. So we'll get this parked in here. The next time that we got to use this is when we get it hooked up to the sprayer, which is going to be relatively soon. So let's just hook it up right now. Okay, well, that's all ready to go. We just do need to go through and make sure that the sprayer heads and stuff are all going to be functioning like they're supposed to. Nothing seems like the hoses don't look dry rotted or anything like that. So that looks like it's all ready to rock and roll. We just need to make sure all the tips are good. And there's that all hooked up. I can't remember if we tried this once before or if we had to switch it to the big tractor. I can't remember. But we're going to try it with this tractor. We're going to try it with this tractor here. And we're going to fast forward time. We're just going to sleep through the day or until tomorrow. So we're going to run into the house, take a little siesta, and we'll be back in the morning. Well, good morning. It is June 1st already. Heck yeah. So let's check the alfalfa. This should be like prime time to start this thing up. Start cutting the stuff. Oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Look at them. They've budded. This stuff is ready to harvest. Hopefully we'll get some pretty dang good yields out of this. 89% yield expected yield. Well, I'll be good. We'll let that thing cook some more, and we'll head down to. Forgot to turn the truck off last night, apparently. Well, let's get that turned off. I was gonna hop in the passenger seat. Well, the battery should be charged. That's a plus, right? All right, let's hop in this dang hay bine, and let's start cutting some hay. This thing should be ready to. Go. We're gonna have to move that. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Hopefully we can get this all lined up here, and let's drop this baby down, and we can start. We need to get over some more. There we go. There, now we should be cutting. Oh, yeah. All right, first cut of alfalfa of year 2. I do want to kind of keep it really close to the edge here because I do not want any of that grass in here, because otherwise the game likes to say, hey, sir, there's some grass in there. And if you get too much grass, it turns it into a grass bale, and we don't want that. So we're going to try to get as much of this to be alfalfa as possible around this outside, and this, I have a feeling, is going to make a lot of bales. Oh, there's going to be a lot of bales here. There's no way around that. There's going to be a lot of loading. Woo! But it should be a good profit, I think, because we will not need all of it, that's for sure. A lot of this will be sold, I think, because we don't need terribly large amount of alfalfa bales as of right now, so yeah, this should be good. This should be real good. It's going to take us a little hot minute to get this stuff cut up, though. Now, we don't have a windrower, which I don't think we need one, because I think this does a pretty good job of making a decent windrow right the way it is. I don't think that we need to get a windrower. But things could change. Things could change, and we might need one. But who knows? This end down here might be a little goofy. We might just turn around and go the other direction for right now and try to catch, maybe I'll try to catch that from this other way, because I think probably what's going to happen if we continue along the side, we're going to do some tree trimming. We're going to have to trim some of these trees like along this side, just because that's pretty dang close. We don't want to hit the cab on anything. So it does look like we're going to have to do a little bit of cleaning down here. Kind of bust out of that so we don't scrape everything up. Then we'll kind of remember where we got to go trim some tree branches. We're working pretty good. Looks like maybe, yep, we're gonna have to trim that one. This is working all right. Just a couple spots to clean up. We'll have to catch this too if we ever turn this back into like corn or soybeans, to see how the combine handles some of that stuff. See how close the hopper gets to everything. It feels pretty good though to be able to get our first cut of alfalfa on here that we planted a couple episodes back. We were pretty excited for that. This is going to be probably, I bet you this is going to take us a day or two to get this all cut. If you guys are enjoying this content, guys, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bells. Greatly appreciate if you guys have made it this far in the video. All right, well, we are getting just about back to the other end where we started. And then I think what we'll do is, should we just keep going in a circle like this? We'll just whip this around and go the opposite direction, and then then we won't have to run over anything. But no Betsy to work here though, that's for sure. This might be kind of the limit of this machine. All right, we'll raise that up, and then we'll swing this the other direction. Then we should be able to roll on the path here. We'll wait till this is pretty much straight. And we'll drop it down. There we go. All right, yeah, this is going to take a hot minute. I probably will not do a time lapse of this. This will be a long time lapse. If you guys are looking to watch that stuff, this will get pretty long.
A few moments later.
Well, would you look at that? It does appear like it is starting to rain out. Imagine that. Imagine that. You just start cutting. You get your first pass around. Goodness gracious. Well, we're going to have to quit. We're going to have to call that quits for today, because there's no... we can't be cutting this in the rain. Try to get this backed out of here so we can whip this thing around. And it looks like we're going to have to park this inside. Goodness gracious. Well, again, we're getting kind of stopped by the rain. That kind of stinks. Can't be doing much cutting there. Hopefully the cows get back in the side. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, don't forget to leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.